having a little technical difficulties to start our presentation today, but thank you for coming to the Tuesday meeting of the Rotary Club of Gainesville. If you could please silence your phones. If you're watching via YouTube, you can register your participation by sending an email to info@rotary.gov. If I could have Tom Collette come lead us in the pledge. That could be a trick. Is Tom here? All right, so I'll just listen. Oh, is he? Well, we can just go on with him. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Fantastic. So I guess we will, is he coming? So tell me, he's still got a song to do, so he's got to hurry up. Tom, if you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium, we have 20 or 30 minutes of a lovely a cappella by Tom Collette, please.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're singing. All right, let's do God Bless America. What do you think? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Brendan, you didn't join in. I was looking over there for your assistance. Are you ready to pledge allegiance to the flag? Let's do that. Oh, you did it already?
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry. I did 50% of your job today, 80% of the time. But today's invocation will be by Kevin Thorpe, who I believe is joining us via Zoom.
May we pray. Lord, we are beyond grateful for this day and for all that it means. Thank you especially for the beautiful change in weather for those of us who enjoy it. We also thank you for today's presentation. Continue to remind us that with our constantly shifting community, the benefits of vocational training will be an added plus for us all. It is for your sake and for your glory we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Kevin. If we could please have all visiting Rotarians and guests please stand, remain standing.
I'm Richard Allen, and I'm pleased today to introduce our guest, Anthony Tarud. Anthony is a mortgage banker here in Gainesville, but he is interested in Rotary because his uncle is a Rotarian from Panama City, Panama. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you.
Hello, Rotarians. I'm Jeff Montgomery. It's my pleasure to welcome again Jacob Hubner, who is with the Rotary Club at the University of Florida. Welcome, Jacob.
Time for the Iowa update.
Yeah, the Iowa update is cold up there, I believe. That's what they tell us. Connie and Bob Crane reach you from Iowa City, Iowa Club.
Okay, up next, who do we have? EGLES. No, wait a minute, I forgot the A.
Hey, Rotarians, Ryan Kern here. Joining me again today is our wonderful exchange student Celeste from Bolivia.
Tom, we've got one more over here.
One more where?
Look this way.
Oh.
Here.
Plant City, I'm here.
Felix Haynes, visiting Rotarian from Plant City, but I've moved to Gainesville and I'm looking to join a club.
Well, thanks for coming. Well, you found the right one.
Welcome all.
All righty, Jacob, you're going to be our first announcement today, buddy.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a good afternoon. My name is Jacob Hubner. I am the treasurer of the University of Florida Rotary Club, and I will be speaking on behalf of the club. The rest of them couldn't be here today. They had complications, so I will be speaking on behalf. So, last week, I came up here and I spoke about our next service event, Feminine Products for Women. That will be taking place at 4:30 p.m. to 6 this Thursday. And let me just say, we are incredibly grateful for all the funds we received last week from many of you. They have allowed us to purchase far more products than we have ever thought possible for this event, and we know that it's going to come out as a fantastic event. Thank you all very much. Okay. Anyone who received the QR code and made a purchase off the Amazon website, please come see me after the meeting to give your donation. And although we believe we already have enough funds for this event, we were always accepting other funds for our future events that I will now speak of. Because today, I wish to share a few more information about our club's future events and our club's future goals. Some of our future events include Food for Kids, which is to provide food for children and those families of children who are struggling economically. Landscaping at Operation Catnip. They have asked us to trim plants and clean much of the trash in the area. And we have many other service events throughout the following months that we are actively looking for. So all of this is to say that Rotaract has two main goals as of now. One is to provide volunteering students at the University of Florida who want to volunteer an opportunity to give back to their community and build those connections. Now, our second goal is to make our community the best place it can possibly be. We are always looking for new volunteer events to service for. We have no intention of stopping, and UF Rotaract is here to stay. And we are very thankful for all support that we have received from you, from the greater Rotary Club of Gainesville as well, and from everyone else. So, thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you, Jacob. And now we have an announcement from Parker Lawrence.
Hello, everyone. I'm here on behalf of the History Committee, and how's that? Is that better? On behalf of the History Committee, we have a collection of about 20 or 30 flags from other clubs around the world, and the Matheson has said that they really don't have the place to put them, so this one is from Taipei, and this one is Toowoomba in Australia. And some of them are quite colorful, but when you travel, you're encouraged to make up with clubs. And when you go, we have a flag you can take with you and exchange flags with the other club. And it's really a neat way to get introduced and know everyone. And having done that, I would say it's just great to meet with Rotarians anywhere in the world. You're always welcome. But I'm looking for someone in this club, which I think we have somebody that can come up with an idea of what to do with the 20 flags. So put your thinking hats on and let me know whenever you get a chance to what you think we might do with them. Thank you.
And our last announcement today is Matthew Brady.
No, I do not require a special mic, but we're juggling batteries today. Good afternoon. If you have not heard, we have an event coming up. The 40th Annual Wild Game Feast. March 6th, we're doing great on sponsors. Thank you to so many. We've met our goals on sponsors. And again, thank you. Take note of the sign coming in that's been up the past few weeks. We've actually added a couple. We'll replace that. We're at 88 total sponsors. Yes, round of applause. Thank you all. So there's a few little details left, like more ticket sales, more raffle sales. We're doing great, but I just ask you, if you know of a friend that you could just give an opportunity to say, hey, join us. Would you buy 2 tickets? Would you buy a book of tickets? Would you like to buy a book of or a couple raffle tickets that the Cousins family offer the trip of a lifetime for? Just the effort of 1 or 2 more makes the difference and makes sure that we have an extremely successful event. Thank you for Greg that's been hanging out back there each week with Wes and helping with ticket sales. Thank you. Wilbur is in full yellow gear. He's here to kindly take your credit card. By next week, he's going to start pickpocketing, as Jim Craig used to do. Just come take your credit card. So hand it over in good faith today. It'll be a lot easier. But seriously, if you can, please do that. All right. We've got 2 big work days coming up. This Saturday, the 22nd, and then the following Saturday, the 1st. We will have an opportunity for anybody, any skill set, any willingness, any age to help contribute to prepare the site, because it's always in great shape, but as it sits out there in these Florida conditions for 2 events a year, it always can use some tender love and care, and we always want it to be in the most presentable form for our 1,500 plus guests so they fully appreciate the experience and we project that full Rotary brand the best way we can. You'll also continue to get some updates about service opportunities during the event. On your table is some slots in the wine bar. We need to shift a few from the left column to the right column and fill in the right column. So just as a note, don't be afraid of second shift. If you have some wine early, then go to work, we're not going to judge you. So do not be scared to shift to the right. Also see Helen, maybe a few spots in the liquor bar. And then Dwight may have a few spots in the beer barn. So whatever your preference is, whatever your drink of choice, we have an opportunity for you. So thank you all. I really appreciate all the effort. I know we can bring this to the finish line and make it a successful event. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. And as an additional benefit, Jason Shank will be cooking lunch this weekend at the work party. But without... this is all Jason. This is all Jason, people. But, well, without further ado, big round of applause for our president, Ryan Thompson.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody, Rotarians and guests. I don't have any announcements today, so I'll get into our program if that's okay. Dr. Brent Ferns is joining us from Sante Fe College, Career and Tech Education. Before working in academics, Brent gained 15 years experience in IT management in the military, both in the Marine Corps and the National Guard, as well as for government, nonprofit, and business organizations. His most recent non-education role was the Director of Global Hosting and Networking Services for a large global manufacturing company. He began teaching at the college level in 2007 and has a PhD from Cumberland's in both IT and business management. Brent is a Freemason, tabletop gaming and motorcycle enthusiast, and a mixed martial arts fan. So Jason, be on your best behavior. He and his wife, Denise, have 5 adult children and 1 granddaughter. They love travel, exercise, and spending time in the outdoors. Please help me welcome Dr. Brent Ferns.
Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me okay? Another one, just a lot of people don't know this, but my side gig is being the AVP. My real job is I'm the voice of indoor sports at Sante Fe College. So if you come to a basketball game or a volleyball game, I could turn it up and I wouldn't need the mic probably, but That and the coach voice. I coached wrestling and football for 20 years, so I've got that coach voice as well. But I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to speak. I've been in Gainesville now for about 10 months. I absolutely in Gainesville. I love Sante Fe College. Our president is awesome. We have a new provost who's incredible. My whole team's amazing. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about career and technical education, because a lot of folks don't know what I do. When you hear Sante Fe College, what do you think? Transfer school for UF, right? And that's what a lot of what we do, and we do it very well. We do a really good job. Over 80% of our students that intend to transfer do to UF or to other universities, and that's wonderful, and that's something that we need to do. But something that's unique about Sante Fe College, you may not know, is 60% of our students do not live in our service district. Our service district is Alachua County and Bradford County, and that means more than half of our students are not local. That's because they're coming to transfer to UF. Once they graduate from UF, they're probably, many of them are also going to be leaving, going back to their hometowns or somewhere else, because that's what they do. However, we also have career and technical education programs, also known as vocational education programs. And so what I want to, am I going to be able to see my slides? Okay, cool. So, one of the things that I wanted to let people know is what else we do, because when we took the name community out of our college names, we're still serving the community, and I think none other than career and technical education. Yes, sir. Oh, it's not on the other TV, Brendan. Okay, very cool. Only one TV today. Don't worry, it's not that important. It's a lot of words. Yeah. There's one slide that I think is kind of important, but it's pretty big, and you guys will see it. So I really feel like what I do is serve our community, which, of course, that's why I want to speak to community organizations like you guys. You guys are hiring our graduates. They're not going to UF and running off to some other place throughout the state or the country. They're staying here and working in our communities. They're working. They're paying taxes. They're creating new businesses, meaning they're creating jobs as well, and they'll be future Rotarians hopefully as well. So that's why I wanted to talk about what we do in career and technical education. So you know that we're the ones, I think, that really serve this community. We're a lot more local students and students that stay local after they graduate to fill those positions. All right. Maybe? There we go. See, can you read that in the back? Will you read that? No? Okay. Don't worry, the mission statement basically just talks about what I just talked about. I want to serve our community. I want us to make sure that we have we're filling all the jobs that you guys have to fill, and we need to know what those are. If you're a business owner, if you're a hiring manager, and you're struggling in any way to fill roles, I want to know that, and I'm going to leave a stack of cards here. So if you would like to contact me, please do. I'll also invite you guys for a tour of campuses if you'd like that. So please contact me for that as well. So I wanted to show you how we're organized in career and technical education, and you can kind of see how we interact internally and externally with the community. So on this chart, the blue is internal and the orange is external to the college. So you can see we have high school students that come in, other neighbors, and you might not have seen it on the mission slide, but I like to say that what I do is I help my neighbors transform their lives through educational attainment. And that's what we're doing. So our neighbors, our high school students, AS degrees, of course, or AA degrees, 2 years. We also have numerous bachelor's degrees. We offer 9 degrees, but I think it's 17 once you look at all the specializations that you can have within degree programs. So a lot of students that maybe come with the intention of transferring to UF, but maybe for some reason they're not able to transfer in, they can finish a bachelor's degree right at Sante Fe College. whether that's an immigrant, a new immigrant, or whether that's a trailing spouse from somebody coming into work at UF or something like that. And they may have credentials to do some other job from where they're from, but they don't speak English well enough to get a job here, and they need to do that to be contributing members of our community. So we offer adult basic education so folks can earn their high school diploma. We also offer English for speakers of other languages to improve English skills. And then the idea is, of course, everyone knows today a high school diploma is not enough anymore. So we want them to matriculate into one of our other programs so that way they can gain the skills that they need to gain employment in our community. There's also some special pathway courses in our adult education that help prepare students for specific jobs, for example, CNA jobs, or folks that maybe speak English well enough to communicate, but not in their specialty. So we have like special medical classes or special engineering classes because those words, of course, are much more difficult, medical terms, engineering terms. So they need a little bit extra help with learning English if they have those skills, but not the language to speak it. We also have a program called Project Saint, which is for adults with mental health disabilities. And we help them to have a college experience. They have college student mentors. They audit classes on campus. They participate in all sorts of activities. They have their own greenhouse. They're growing, and they sell, for fundraising, they sell the plants that they grow in their greenhouse. It's a really, really great program. All of that's under the heading of adult education. Again, our goal for that is for them to transition and matriculate into some of our other programs. Well, there's another section here at the bottom that used to report to me. I just changed that color to a light blue because it's internal, but it's they no longer report to me. Anybody know a guy named James Coates? Yeah, most people know James Coates. We just hired James Coates. He works for the college now. Did you guys know that? He sold Phalanx, and we had a job that the job reported to me as a director, but it's really a big role because we want to expand in this area. And we struggled to find the right person with the right skill set for that job. So we elevated it to an executive director position that reports directly to our provost. And James Coates applied. And I was really shocked that he did. I was very happy that he did. He's got a lot of connections. He knows everybody. I've been here 10 months and he's already been able to do more in like the few weeks that he's been in there than I was able to do in that time, just because of all the people that he knows and the things that he's accomplished in the past. So in that department, there are 3 areas. One is our community ed. So that's like, paddling, baking, those kinds of like enrichment courses. We're really looking to expand that area and do some more like lifelong learning. For example, there's a Lifelong Learning Institute at one of my previous institutions that took large trips for retired folks to go to Lake Tuscany. I want to do some more stuff like that. Let's get folks we've got a lot of retired like faculty from UF and things like that. I'd love to put together little group trips and other activities that they might enjoy. So we're working towards that. And then continuing education is a little bit different. That's really for employability. Sometimes it'll be somebody starting out and they want to get an industry certification, say, some kind of an IT certification to begin doing some IT work. But then they later will come back and get the degree because the degree is required for the position that they want. Other times it's an employer coming back to us and saying, hey, I need to upskill our workers. They need to learn some OSHA training or something else that we can provide for them, or they need to learn about AI, or we need to do some leadership training for our managers. We can create that for them, provide instructors. They don't have to do that. We can allow them to do what they're good at, whether it's making widgets or whatever, and we can do the education because that's what we're good at. And then the third area is the SEED, the Center for Innovation and Economic Development, which is our incubator. The incubator is also, we're targeting that for a lot of growth. We've been helping small businesses in Gainesville for several years now. We give them a low rent place to space for offices, also access to business services like legal services, marketing, things like that to help them grow the business to a point where they can graduate from our program, get their own space and go do something else. So it's kind of like the Innovate Hub at UF, but on a smaller scale where they're doing, big biotech stuff. We're doing more Main Street type businesses. So obviously you can see why James Coates, I think, is a really good person for all of those because he's connected in the community, he knows lots of employers that need those continuing education services. He also can help us find instructors for a lot of those things as well. So really excited about and then the name's no longer Corporate and Community Education. It's called community engagement and continuing education. That's what it's called now. But a lot of times folks will come into that, they'll get that IT certification, then come back for the degree, or they'll get the degree and then they'll come back and get the certification afterwards through continuing education. So you can see folks kind of go back and forth in those programs. Some folks do transfer, even with an AS degree, you can sometimes transfer to a university. So we do get some of our AS students that do transfer. We're also working on articulation agreements with UF for graduate programs from our bachelor's programs right now. So hopefully that will be able to build that pathway for students as well to go on to grad school after they complete their bachelor's. And then of course local employers, which is really the key for career and technical education. There's a lot of areas right now, manufacturing's growing in our area, so we're creating a new engineering technology advanced manufacturing program, which is going to start in the fall. And we also starting a new diesel program. Diesel mechanics we're shorthanded there as well. And we're expanding our welding program and our HVAC program. HVAC, of course, is going nowhere in the state of Florida. And as it grows, as Florida grows, so do HVAC jobs. So lots of things going on in these areas. And I want to show you some of the different program areas. Oh, also the little school. One of the areas that you'll see that I oversee is called IT&E. It's Information Technology and Education. The education department has an early childhood education degree. And we have our own daycare on campus called the Little School. And it's working daycare. It's reduced rates for students and for employees of the college. But we do have a lot of outside customers for the Little School. And it's also a lab for our early childhood education program. And recently we just partnered with UF for them to do some of their early childhood research at this facility. So we're another area where we can partner with UF, even though we're not really a transfer program. So I talked a little bit about all these little areas in adult ed, English for speakers of other languages, ABE and GED, so students can get their high school diploma, the different educational pathways. Artist Entrepreneur is another example of that. And I talked also about Project Saint. For our 4-credit programs, in business, numerous certificates, associate's degrees. We do have AA transfers in business. So a lot of folks that do transfer to UF from there. And the Bachelor's of Applied Sciences in Accounting, Health Service Administration with various concentrations, and also Organizational Management with numerous concentrations. And we're also expanding those. Another exciting thing that we're doing in business programs, when you think apprenticeships, you often think about the trades. But apprenticeships are growing to other areas, and we're right now working to expand into apprenticeships in businesses areas. For example, accounting. We have accountants in here? So you're billing out to your clients at the rate of whatever that person is that's working on it. Well, if you have an accountant, accountants bill out at a really high rate, and if they're doing simple bookkeeping, there's some inefficiency there. And so if they can get bookkeepers who they can bill out at a lower rate, pass those savings on to their customers, it can help them to be more competitive. So we're working to create a bookkeeping apprenticeship. Numerous accounting firms, some of the big names in town have already talked to us about partnering to do that. We're also looking to do similar things in the insurance industry and other areas. So we're really thinking of expanding apprenticeships into non-traditional areas. The cool thing about that is they work 40 hours a week with a set pay that increases as they work through the program, as they gain hours. And then when they graduate, and they only come 2 nights a week to classes on campus. Then they graduate and they get a job with that employer that they've been working with. So there's a loyalty that's built between that employer and that student as they go through the program. All right, we also have construction and maintenance programs. We are really, really closely tied to the Rinker School at UF. Many of our students transfer there, but we also have AS degrees for folks that would like to go right into the workplace. We also have various certificate programs and apprenticeships are in this area: carpentry, electrical, heating and air conditioning. It still says plumbing up there. The plumbing one's now called maintenance. So like Collier's, and I've recently been talking to the village right across the street from Sante Fe about hiring some of our apprenticeships out of that building maintenance program, which is really cool. Here's the information technology and education. We do have a bachelor's degree in early childhood education, which is unique in the state. So it's a really great place for someone to get that bachelor's degree without the cost of the university. But we also have IT degrees. This is the area that I used to teach in, programming, networking, information security, and there's that early childhood education as well. The Institute for Public Safety. If you've never toured the Institute for Public Safety, please go do it. It's awesome. It's one of the coolest places I've ever been to. It's awesome. Tom Ackerman, he used to work for the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. He's our director out at the Institute for Public Safety. It's the Kirkpatrick Center. It's the one out on 39th by the airport. They're doing things there that no one's doing anywhere else in the country. They have a laser shot program that we got all of the equipment for free from the vendor because they record their simulations here at Santa Fe campus. So anywhere in the world where this technology is, they're running through scenarios that were filmed on our campuses. That entire building has cameras, microphones, motion sensors, and speakers throughout it so that they can run scenarios anywhere. So as students walk through, a motion sensor detects they're there. A speaker will say, help, help, down the hall. They can go down there later. From their movement, you can hear shots fired, and they're interacting as they move throughout the building. And it's also recorded so that the students can watch it back and learn what they did well, what they can improve on, and things like that. We also have, we have law enforcement, corrections, EMT, and paramedic are all out there and we also have degrees in criminal justice technology. Oops, wrong direction. We already talked about community ed, continuing ed, and the seed, and then the Santa Fe little school at the bottom there, our little environment for our kids. And I know I've already spoke way too much. Before I see if there are any questions, one more time, I would love to solicit visitors to our campuses. We have a lot of students. I want to start having students from middle school learn more about our campus and our learning environments. A lot of kids, we lose kids, they either drop out or they start getting poorer grades because they don't like the learning environment of sitting in a classroom all day. We have different learning environments where they get to work with their hands, they get to touch things and turn things and do stuff. And every single time that I give a tour of our campus and our learning spaces, people go, wow, I had no idea Santa Fe had this. So I would love the opportunity for you guys to tell me, wow, I had no idea Santa Fe had this, and show you our learning spaces. That way you can spread that word and let people know what we have. There are different ways of learning besides sitting in a classroom, staring at a sage on the stage, lecturing them. So with that, does anyone have any questions for me?
This is a two-parter. First question, you said you love Gainesville, but you didn't tell us where you came here from.
Sure.
Most recently. And then I'm wondering, with all the programs you are overseeing and in charge of, are you mainly based out on the main campus at the Blunt Center, somewhere else? Or are you running back and forth all the time?
Yeah, okay, the first one, I'm originally from Michigan, way in northern Michigan, in the middle of nowhere. If I told you the town, you probably never even heard of it. It's less than 400 people. You've heard of One Light Town? We don't even have a light. People just fly through. They don't even tap the brakes, they just go. But I've been in Florida for 8 years, and I've been all over the place. I've been to 49 states. I've lived in 6 of them. I was in the military. But I've been a Floridian for 8 years. I started out in Palm Beach County, and then I was 2 years in Highlands County, Sebring, Avon Park, if you know that area. Now I'm here, and I really, really like it here. I think Palm Beach was too big, and Highlands was too small, and this is the porridge that's just right, and I really, really like it here, yeah. So I have my main office that I never go to is on Northwest Campus. I'm not there a lot. I have an amazing assistant who makes it feel like I'm there, but I'm not. I used to have an office downtown, but James stole it. I actually knew that he was going to get it when I got hired, so I never decorated it. I knew when we filled that role, I was going to give it up. So like today, I was downtown, but I squatted in the president's office. So he has an office downtown. But I'm everywhere. I'm out of the office a lot more. So we have 3 AVPs. I know this wasn't part of your question, but it'll help you understand a little bit. The 3 academic AVPs are liberal arts and sciences. That's all the transfer stuff. So building relationships with UF is her main job, and other universities. And then we have health sciences, so all the clinical degrees. That's nursing and radiography, those types of things. While I have the non-medical, I call myself the AVP of everything else. But she really has to make friends with 3, right? The VA and SHANS and HCA, right? Those. She has to. I have to make friends with everybody, like everybody else. I have every other program. And so I'm out and about a lot. I do a lot of these. I work from home a lot because I work a lot of late nights and early mornings meeting with groups like you as well. So yeah, I work from home a lot, which my wife kind of likes. She kind of likes me sometimes. So I'm all over the place, but I have a couple places I squat.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm Marcia Eubank, and I every week sell tickets for Reading Safari, which is part of the zoo program. And I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about the zoo program at the.
I can tell you two things, and this is being recorded, isn't it? The first one is they don't report to me. The second thing is that they should. It's okay. They already know I think that. There are a few programs that we have that are career programs. Now, health sciences, those are all career programs as well, but they're specialized. They have specialized accreditation, and so that's why there's a separate division there for health sciences. But there are a few programs that are AS degrees, career programs that fall under liberal arts and sciences because previous administrators made those decisions. One of them is the zoo. One is our stage tech. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's basically theater technician. They do the lighting and the props and all that type of stuff. And another one is digital media. They're AS degrees. So like I was saying, our AVP of liberal arts and sciences is building relationships with universities, not employers. Students are graduating from those programs and needing jobs. So what I do is different. I think I can help them better. So that's something I'm working towards. I love the zoo. I take walking meetings there. I walk 4 miles a day. So if I can get it in a meeting, I'm going to do that. I love to walk through the zoo. It's beautiful. If you guys have never been to the Sante Fe College Zoo, please go to the zoo. It's awesome. It's really cheap. I don't even know how much it costs, like $5 or something. And it's awesome. There's also really big events there all the time. They brew at the zoo. If you follow the news, there was just something in the news today about some otters that are going to another zoo. That program is really successful. As a matter of fact, we just had a student that now works at a zoo in Scotland, and the guy and head of the zoo there said he's never had somebody come from a program that was so prepared. So that's another reason why I really want him to be under CTE. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bill Stacewood's proud Rotarian, Santa Fe Scholar, 1977. Just wondering how many locations does Santa Fe College have now?
Sure. So we have the Andrews Centers in Stark, and there's actually 3 different locations in Stark, but the Andrews Center is the main location. There is Watson Center is in Keystone Heights. I'm about to drive through there on my way to Stark today for a Board of Trustees meeting. And then we have in Archer is somebody help me out, Davis Center is in Archer. And then the Perry Center, which is in Alachua, and that's focused really on biotech. That's another area that I'm not sure. That belongs to health sciences. I'm not sure if that should be CT. But so yeah, all of those locations. And we also, the Blunt Center downtown, of course, which kind of interesting news is that our accreditors have actually approved it to be a campus instead of a center. We just haven't kind of pulled that trigger of doing that yet because we have numerous sites. And you may have heard some exciting news. We're building the new automotive training center at the downtown campus. We're really excited. That should start in fall of 27. The programs will start downtown. So that one's very much a growing campus. The college also owns across the street, across 6th, there's a shopping plaza there that the college owns that we're looking at utilizing in different ways, some other properties. So lots of stuff happening downtown to try and help us to serve folks on the eastern side of Gainesville a little bit better.
My name is Helen Gilstrom. My question is, what are you doing to interest students in vocational education? I think I would rather have been a welder.
Yeah.
That was not an option.
I got to tell you, I don't disagree. And people don't realize, we have students, for example, that go through our automotive program that are, students that get Pell Grants. So they're more than likely graduating without any student loans. And if they are, they're very small. I had a kid at my previous institution, 2 years after graduating, he was making over $100,000 a year, and all he did all day was alignments. He wasn't getting greasy. He wasn't getting dirty. He was on an alignment machine, which if you've ever seen them, they're really high tech. So he had some really high tech skills. It's not the jobs you used to think that they are. So we need to do a better job of that, especially at Santa Fe, because even internally, we still think of ourselves as that transfer to UF school. So we're working on that. I'm partnering with Shannon Ritter at the school district. She's the CTE director at the school district. And we're looking at pathways from their CTE programs into ours. We're also looking at going into, as I mentioned, I think middle school is where we need to start talking to students about this. I'll give you an example. I used to watch my dad and my uncle wrench on cars, and I fix my own car. Family of 7, I have 5 children. My wife's a homemaker, sole breadwinner. I had to learn to do everything myself, right? Electrical and plumbing and all of that stuff. And I'm lucky I knew how to do that stuff because I watched my dad. And many people that went into those career fields, they got excited with their dad or their uncle or their whoever learning to wrench. We've engineered ourselves out of fixing our own cars. So there's a lot of people that they don't get that interest, and they also don't realize that it's no longer grease monkey. You know, you get that image of a grease monkey. You're more likely to see an automotive service technician with an iPad in their hand than you are with a wrench. They're really diagnosticians, not dissimilar from, one of my best friends is an MD, and I always joke with him, he's just a mechanic for human bodies. And that's what they're really diagnosticians. They're diagnosing those problems and then finding the solution. So we just need to get it out there. We need to go to the middle schools is where I think we start, but also I'm partnering with the high schools and then also the adult population. We just need to spread the word, and that's why I'm out here talking to you guys, so you can help me do that.
So the most important question is, what kind of motorcycle do you ride?
You did hear me mention the sole breadwinner of a family of 7. So as much as I would love to have an Indian or a Harley, I ride a 2003 Honda VTX. It's an 1800. It's bigger. It's got a bigger engine than my car across the street, but yeah, it's a Honda. But I love it. I'm not ashamed of that. I love it.
Hey man, I think we're running kind of tight on time, so I'll cut right to it. You're talking to a club that has partnered with Sante Fe College for a long time, and I think a lot of us individually do a lot with the college too. And I ran into Jackson Sasser a few months ago. I hadn't seen him in a long time. He's back in the community, and I said, well, Jackson, why don't you rejoin the club? I think he's kind of doing other things now. He asked me if Dr. Brody was a member, and honestly, I'm not even sure if he is. If he is a member, he doesn't attend too much, so you might be the guy.
You want me to work on that?
I would like for you to work on Dr. Brody and yourself.
I would love, like I told you my schedule already, I'm also an active Freemason, so I'm very busy. I love the Rotarians very, very much. I love your guys' creed and what you do. It's just difficult for me to commit to another thing between church and Freemasons and my wife, who has spent 20 some years raising my 5 children and now gets to spend some time with me. So I'm trying to narrow down, but you know what? I'll work on Dr. Brody for you. Okay. You have some other Rotarians. Sherry Houston, our new vice president for advancement, is a Rotarian as well. So, all right, is that it? Sorry, guys, I took so long. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ferns. On your behalf, we'd like to make a donation to the Child Center for Early Learning. Awesome. So thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, our speaker for next week is Dr. David Reed. He's the director of the University of Florida's AI Center, so that'll be an exciting program. Quote for the week, in honor of President's Day: the best way to predict your future is to create it. That's President Abraham Lincoln. The Rotary Reading Safari drawing number is 565-565. And with that, the meeting is adjourned.